March 12th, 2015. The first of the Gen 8 Yakuza series, Yakuza 0, is released to Japanese audiences on the PS3 and PS4. A game that would mark a turning point for the series, testing the Kiwami engine and laying the foundation for a decade of Yakuza games to follow. With this month marking its 10th anniversary, I want to dive into the entire Gen 8 Yakuza era, analyzing its world building, character development, and story. This is not a review, so find your nearest payphone, save your game, and buckle in, because they made a fucking lot of video games.
Hello? 1988 called, and they want their game engine back.
The genius, perhaps even unknown as Sega, was releasing a game made for PS3 and PS4 in 2015, a year in which we saw the likes of Arkham Knight and Uncharted 4 release, and mind you, the West wouldn't even get a sniff at an official release until 2017. Yakuza 0 had to come out swinging hard to compete, and they were like, this game was made in 1988. Reused NPC animations, text scroll dialogue. These are some recurring elements that normally wouldn't hurt future entries to the series, but paired with that jungle-ass pacing, all from the need of the backstory, the video game, and you're left with so much on your plate, you don't know what to savor, what to scarf down, or what to put in the doggy bag for later. But if you look at Yakuza 0 as a starter course for the entire series, then the outdated filters, the refined but retro mechanics, even surprisingly through the development of each fighting style and these dumbass fucking skill trees that I still haven't finished, the game manages to solidify itself as point zero in the Yakuza timeline. The dated Kiwami engine, instead of being a graphical limitation, it becomes an aesthetic choice, enhancing not just where you're playing, but also when. But cheesy, how does the skill tree story the game? The legend fighting styles of Kiryu and Majima are their signatures throughout the series, but in the Kiwami engine, they are broken up into 3 sub-styles, each polished as their own, given their own moves, heat actions, and dumbass fucking skill trees that I still haven't finished. But Sega can't introduce these fighting styles in prequel of video game. They got to give them backstories, introducing meaningless characters that don't carry much weight into later games. But this was Sega casting its vision forward to breathe more life into the dragon before we knew it. But a big-ass skill tree and some low-engagement filler missions aren't enough to refine the blades of Kiryu and Majima. Sega sharpened these after smoldering faces of some of the most badass, flashy-dressed, larger-than-life antagonists in that series. Kuzu and Shibusawa are Kiryu's darker reflections, the path he'd have walked if he didn't have his own brand of pride. The same goes for Majima and Nishitani. The Yakuza series has developed a reputation for crafting some of the most memorable villains, painted as vividly as the inks on their backs. Which leads me to my next point. The art of the jacket rip. Few things go harder in the Yakuza series than these. Damn. In Yakuza 0, Kiryu's tattoos are unshaded, a symbol of his evolution in the Tojo clan. From antagonist to ally, each back piece is intricate as the last. When the jacket comes off, it's more than an art show, it's a last stand. The Guardians of Hell with Kuzu versus the Dragon of Kiryu. The Koi of Nishiki that aspires to be the Dragon of Kiryu. It's a clash of ideals, honor and power, inked directly into the skin of the men who bled them. And it raises the stakes on dynamic intros, cause when this shit happens, now you know I'm gonna fuck shit up because the jackets are The transition from 0 to 1 felt jarring. mainly because the Majima in Zero is so disconnected from anything we come to know throughout the series. His foundation, much like most recurring characters, was laid and fleshed out in the events of Yakuza Kiwami 1. This game, you follow a single protagonist, Kiryu Kazuma.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Barring the starting scene of Kiryu's last dark action, his journey would remain the same honorable whirlwind laid out in Zero. In contrast, and why he's not playable here, the change of Majima, now the mad dog of Shimano, one of the most entertaining characters in the game, transitions from tragic hero to a fucking jump scare with a knife. Mark Hamill voiced Majima in the PS2 English dub, a Joker-like voice for a Joker-like character, split down the seam of serious and whatever the fuck this shit is. The entire series balances this dumbass shit with a dark, open crime type game, and I fucking love them for it. Majima Everywhere was basically a one-man nemesis system, transcending even the boundaries of the game.
Yo.
His chaotic energy bends the guitar strings of tension without causing them to snap. His transformation into the Mad Dog goes beyond mere character development. Majima is a template for how the entire series balances absolute wacky fuckery with a serious, compelling crime drama. Don't be mad, Kiryu, you're still the main protagonist. Don't worry, guys. He's just gonna play the real game. The great balancing success of the series' ability to take itself as seriously as it fucking doesn't stems heavily from the jam-packed variety of minigames, sub-stories, and memorable side characters. The Yakuza series has always been a very gameception type experience, and while this isn't an innovation of video games, its execution in the Yakuza series is night and day. You get backstories for the sub-stories in the side quests for a fucking minigame. Pocket Fighter appears in Zero, Kiwami 1, Yakuza 6, even Like a Dragon. And no matter how wacky these segments tend to get, there's always potential for a surprising callback that somehow still fits the main series tone. But remember when I said there were two main characters that changed in the Kiwami engine? I was lying to you. It's actually three, and the third is unexpected, unknown, and unseen. The cities of Kamurocho and Suttonbury in the world of Yakuza.
Grove Street, home.
Side quests, in-game items, UI tricks like the payphone boot saves, the nightlife, the fashion, the incandescent glow of 80s lighting. All these elements feed into the world building, the cigarette culture. Even NPCs would light cigarettes as they walk by. It was a different era when wires were attached to phones and organizations like the Yakuza could thrive. Sega takes all these ingredients and serves you a big-ass bowl of nostalgia noodles called Ramen 1988, and it's reflected in the Suttonbury and Kamurocho of Zero, the economic culture of 80s Japan, fully realized and enhanced by the Kiwami engine. Just look at what happens when you go AFK for a bit. You can't do that in the street, Majima. You have to find a smoking area, otherwise your heat bar won't charge up. It's a story of change in a city that evolves, and it's all perfectly encapsulated in a dynamic crystal that is each game as a standalone. From 0 to 1, the Kiwami engine was the perfect ship to breach the shores of the West and turn a game with a niche following into an ever-growing fan base with each new entry. I cannot wait to see what the studio does with Project Century's 1900s, considering how immersive the 80s and 2000s were. It's a series that sticks here, whether it's the characters, the city, or the absurdity of it all. It's a badass crime drama, a lived-in slice of virtual tourism. That's why 10 years later, I'm still trying to finish this dumbass fucking skill tree.